we're going to start with the beginning. This is the first word of the Torah. It means in the beginning. And it's also, there's lots of kind of disagreements about what it actually means. So it could be in the beginning. It could be in a beginning. It could be with the beginning. And there's many ways of looking at it, but it essentially is one of the most reflected upon words in the whole tradition, because it starts off the whole Torah. Genesis 1:1 starts with, in the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. And in Hebrew, in the beginning is just one word, Bereishit, it's pronounced. So we're going to look at this word, Bereishit. So first of all, it goes right to left. In Hebrew, it doesn't go left to right, it goes right to left. And there is something funny here from the beginning, so to speak. This little vowel down here usually would indicate that this would mean in a beginning as opposed to in the beginning. Most people agree, and I agree, that it should be in the, for various sort of esoteric grammatical reasons. But if this means in a beginning, there's a very ancient interpretation that this universe was, one of many universes that was created. That the story of the Bible, in that sense, that this is in a beginning, is about after God made several mistakes or universes that didn't work out. We had this universe, and look, we're going, all things considered, pretty good so far. We're still around. It's, if anyone's seen The Matrix, like the first Matrix movie, Agent Smith sort of tells Neo at some point, we made all these different worlds and they were all perfect for you humans, but you rejected them all. So we had to make a world with a good amount of suffering as well as pleasure. And so that would kind of fit in. And that whole interpretation rests on this vowel right there. And the pronunciation, because if it was Bereishit, then it would be a completely different meaning, obviously. So that's just one example of how this word could be interpreted. So, but if we divide this up, it's actually a preposition, meaning it's one of these little connector words. Like we have the word in English, it usually means in, but it can also mean something else. So this would be in, and this word here would be Reshit. It's pronounced, means in the beginning. So, I mean, that's kind of the standard way of looking at it. In the beginning. But this preposition also means with. It literally means with. So what does it mean, with the beginning? So this is one of the steps people start to take when they're doing this interpretation. So they look at another verse for a sort of a textual proof. It says in the book of Psalms, the beginning of wisdom is the fear of God. The beginning of wisdom is the fear of God. And so that could just mean what it sounds like. If we have, let's say, a healthy respect for the ultimate, then we're going to have the capacity to develop wisdom, something like that. If we have a sense of maybe humility or understanding that we don't control everything, that's the beginning of wisdom. But in the Hebrew, there's just two words. So the beginning of wisdom are just two words, Reshit and then Chokhmah. So you'll see this word Reshit, and then the word Chokhmah is in the Sephirah of Chokhmah, the one that means wisdom in Kabbalah. And there's a few steps here. So follow with me. I'm going to have time for questions after this if anything's unclear. So Reshit and Chokhmah next to each other, so the beginning of wisdom. You could also read these two words next to each other as Reshit is Chokhmah, because is doesn't exist a lot of the time in Hebrew, and it's sort of implied. All right. So if Reshit is Chokhmah and Be can mean with, then we have the beginnings of the universe as being created with Chokhmah, with wisdom. So instead of in the beginning God created, this is with wisdom, with Chokhmah, God created the heavens and the earth. Same word. It's a drash. It's an interpretation. I don't think it's meant to be literal, but it's really creative. And you break up the Hebrew a little bit. You look at verses that relate. And here we have Reshit is a code name for the emanation of Chokhmah, of primordial wisdom. And Be means with.